We are not afraid of protests. Our concern is the ordinary people. Nigerian Senate hold emergency session on #End Bad Governance protests. Hello viewers and welcome to InfoGist TV. The Nigerian Senate has slated an emergency session over the End Bad Governance protests. This was announced via a short notice which was passed to all the lawmakers on Monday morning. The leadership of the Nigerian Senate has called for an emergency session to discuss issues surrounding the planned nationwide protest slated to commence on 1st of August 2024. This was announced via a short notice which was passed to all the lawmakers on Monday morning, stating that the 109 senators must meet. The notice reads, an internal memorandum from the Senate clerk has been issued regarding the matter. Dear distinguished senators, the President of the Senate, His Excellency Senator Godswill Obot Akpabio, GCON, has directed that an emergency plenary sitting of the Senate be convened. Distinguished senators are requested to make all necessary arrangements to attend and issues of national importance will be discussed. We regret all inconveniences that these interruptions of the recess will cause, the notice added. The Nigerian National Assembly, comprising the Senate and House of Representatives, cut short its annual recess to address the looming End Bad Governance in Nigerian protests. The lawmakers, initially scheduled to reconvene on September 17th, have returned to session to tackle the pressing issues. Before embarking on their recess, they had made notable progress, including enacting the minimum wage law, approving a 6.2 trillion naira increase to the 2024 budget, as requested by President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, and passing amendments to the 2023 Finance Act, among other significant legislative actions. We should recall that President Bola Ahmed Tinubu on Thursday held a meeting with traditional rulers in the country as part of efforts to avert a planned nationwide protest. The meeting, which held in the State House Abuja, had in attendance prominent monarchs, including the Sultan of Sokoto, His Eminence Muhammadu Said Abubakar III, and Oni of Ife, His Imperial Majesty Oba Adeyeye Enitan. During the meeting, President Bola Ahmed Tinubu reiterated his commitment to making Nigeria a better place for all and sundry, noting that he asked for the job and he's ready to do it. According to him, he has accepted all the liabilities of his predecessor. The president declared during the meeting that his administration is not afraid of protest, but is worried about what may happen to ordinary Nigerians if the protest goes ahead. According to him, the destruction which happened in Lagos during the famous #EndSARS protest in 2020 are still fresh in his memories. The Nigerian leader stressed that he is committed to doing more to meet the needs and aspirations of the people, even as he noted that the nation's economy is on a gradual but steady path of recovery. Yes, it is true that I asked for this job and I approached some of you to support me, so I have no excuse to not to do the job. With sincerity of purpose and honesty, I have committed myself to it diligently. I will never look backwards. I have accepted the assets and the liabilities of my predecessors. How I will take Nigeria forward should be my concern, and that is my concern. I've been extremely busy. The only exercise I have had here is the walk from the residence to this place and then continue with the walk. Nigeria is hilly, and it is the largest democracy in Africa. No other democracy comes close to us in terms of population on the continent. We cannot blame God for giving us these children, and we have to seek peace and better livelihood, the president said, as quoted in a statement by his spokesperson, Ajuri. President Bola Ahmed Tinubu went ahead to list some of the actions taken by his administration to ease the burdens on Nigerians. He identified the student loan program, the consumer credit scheme, and the affirmations of fiscal autonomy for local government councils, saying the Ministry of Finance will continue to ensure that funds go to grassroots for humans and infrastructural development. Today, the Bank of Agriculture is empty. We have to reactivate it. If they are not talking about flooding, they are talking about banditry. We have to start all over again. Yes, infrastructural decay is there. The Lagos-Calabar Coastal Road is not being done without studies. It is an economic energizer. From it, we can create infrastructure along the route to develop wind energy and generate power, and we can expand our irrigation network. The economic viabilities of infrastructure has to be studied before we embark on projects. How many dams are there on the corridors of Sokoto-Badagry? From there, we can energize electricity, we can do irrigations and additional farms. Even if it is 2 million hectares of land, you can create opportunities for farmers on a small scale. Then you have to find capital for them. Nigeria is on a path of recovery. You have heard it from the Minister of Finance, Mr. Wale Edun. We are not afraid of protests. Our concern is the ordinary people and the damages that will be done. Till today, I cannot forget the brand new 60 and 100-seater buses down there in Lagos that were burnt down. And we are now complaining of transportation. That is the problem. That is why I must say thank you for talking to the citizens. The president told the traditional rulers. President Bola Ahmed Tinubu submitted that security is getting better in Nigeria and the foot would not be taken off the pedal. Security is getting better, but we cannot take our eyes off the camera because it takes one accident for things to flare up. We are managing it. We have created instruments to support the students so that they get education, consumer credit to expand the economy, to improve the purchasing power of the people in order to rejuvenate the economy within a short period of time. We are still recalibrating our oil usage, the president stated. President Bola Ahmed Tinubu further reiterated that he will continue to explain the economic reforms and projected benefits to the nations, adding that he remains open to dialogue for the development of the country. President Bola Ahmed Tinubu further urged the royal fathers to reach out to citizens on the genuine intentions of the government to deliver on its promises of renewed hope. Now we are sending money to the local government. I addressed the governors today on that issue. I've been distributing fertilizer, rice and other items to support the recovery of citizens. I assure you, Nigerians, we are looking at the light at the end of the tunnel. I can assure you, this economy will be reviewed, will survive and prosper, the president emphasized. In his remark, the Sultan of Sokoto said, I believe that these brief meetings will clear some issues that many people have in their minds. At our meetings on Monday, we had a very open discussion on all issues affecting the nation. We are the ones who will tell you the truth about what is happening in our various communities. The royal father said an executive council meeting was held on Monday and the council, composed of all states chairmen of the 36 states and the Federal Capital Territory, met to deliberate on the economy. The Ooni of Ife thanked the president for inviting the National Security Advisor, Malam Nuhu Rabidu, the Minister of Finance coordinating of Minister of the Economy, Mr. Wale Edun, the Minister of Budget and Economic Planning, Mr. Abubakar Tikuba Gudu, and the GCEO of NMPCL, Mele Kiari, to brief the traditional rulers on the state of the economy. We heard from the GCEO of NMPCL. They are the ones that prepare our economy. We have heard from the Minister of Finance. We also heard from the Minister of Budget and the NSA. We want to encourage you, Mr. President. We will all get back to our various communities and let our people know because none of us locks our places, the monarch added. This is coming after rumors that the nations would embark on a nationwide protest has hit the president. The president is now concerned and has come out to state that President Bola Ahmed Tinubu's administration is not afraid of protests but is concerned as to the ordinary people and the after effect that would result as a result of the protests. And the after effect that would result as a result of the protests. And the after effect that would result as a result of the protests.